Welcome to the Game Server Migration Guide. In this video, I will show you how to take an existing multiplayer save and migrate it into ServerJockey. So I'll be using Project Zomboid to show how this is done. A similar process will work on other supported games as well. So I'm going to start at the beginning and host a game, which is running a server locally, usually used when hosting just for a few friends. I'll also be skipping and fast forwarding a lot, so those parts of the video will be silent. So to begin with, I'll host using default server test settings, and let's start. So now I'm logged in to my locally running server. Make note of your character's name here, because that'll be handy later. So now that the server has been created, the save files, we can now begin migrating it to ServerJockey. So the first step is just to create a new instance. In this case, I'll just call it example, Project Zomboid instance. Now what we want to do is install the server. So the install process is now complete, and thanks to a recent Steam platform update, Steam CMD is now throwing errors. However, the install process still works well. So with that done, I'm going to start the Project Zomboid server. So the server has now started. I'll just stop the server now. Then under backups, I'll create a backup of the world and then download that. So now in this directory, I can see I have the game world extract here. I'm using 7-zip. So here we can see all of the folders that are and files that are part of the game save. Now the reason I created a fresh one and downloaded it is so that you can see the files and folder layout, so you have an understanding of where they all are. So when you migrate from the old save to the new, you know what needs to be copied. So for Project Zomboid, if I go to the local profile where I will find all of my settings and the game saves from the hosted server that I ran just a moment ago, I'll notice that the same directories exist there. So there's a backup directory, DB directory, logs, Lua, messaging, saves, and server. So some of these directories, such as backups, is the backups when the server starts, so we don't need that. So I can just delete that. Logs, we can delete that. The rest we'll need to migrate over from the old save. So we need all of them, including saves, but I'll come back to saves for the moment. So the player database, Lua, messaging, server. DB, Lua, messaging, server. So I'll copy these over here. So that'll bring our player database. Under server has the server settings. Now under saves, you'll notice that there's the multiplayer save server test and the server test player, which is myself when I logged in. And there's also sandbox, which is single player saves. So I only want the server test folder. So over here on the multiplayer, we can see server test. So I'll delete that, and then I'll copy across just that one. So that is all of the data migrated over. Server console, that's log, we can get rid of that. So now we just need to zip that back up again. I'm using 7-zip. So we need to rename this. The backups, the world backups all need to begin with world dash and end in zip. So I'm just going to call this world dash migrated. Now, back in the ServerJockey web app, you can select that file and upload it, then restore it. So that has now restored that backup which I made, which is the migrated server from the hosted game that I ran before. So now, if we start this up, it starts successfully. Now I will start the game. So now, if I go to join, I already have a login created previously. This has the correct local IP. Also note the account username is the same as what we saw when I hosted it. If you do that, you should be able to log in as the same character as you did when you were hosting it before. So now I've logged in, and as you can see, I have my character, same character, wearing a balaclava, same login name, same house that I spawned in. That's it. That's how you migrate a game save.